we live in a very busy, crowded space in terms of technology and social media. Everybody's trying to get everybody's attention. It's just a really weird, bizarre time that we're living in. And so I just said, man, you know what? I'm not some rock star. I'm not trying to be someone I'm not. I'm just a guy, and I like people, and I want to connect with people, and I want to add value to people and be personable. And so let me do that, and let me be as engaged as possible. True Fan Love Tuesday has kind of evolved from a thing I was doing on Twitter, where I would just say, hey, tweet me your music or your videos or stuff you want me to check out, and people would tweet me just all kinds of content. I was like, man, people really care what I think about stuff. And it's evolved from that to moving over into my personal, I have a super phone now where people could text me direct and I could respond to them and I could have conversation. So it's been encouraging for me. It's been encouraging for the people wanting to connect with me. And I'm curious to see how it continues playing out in terms of me dropping more content, me dropping more music, me doing stuff like this and sharing it with them. But I think for me, the heart is just connecting with people and being more accessible and attainable. Superphone is a program designed by Ryan Leslie. He put together service/app where people can have I have a phone number, people text me the phone number, and then what it does is it replies back and it captures all their information, so the first response is automated, and then it puts them in my phone, and then I could separate them by city and region. So it's just like a really interesting interface that he's created to intentionally bypass social media and intentionally bypass all these methods that a lot of people in the music industry are hanging on to, but they're not necessarily the most effective method. You know, like if you have 100,000 followers on Facebook, only about 10,000 of those people are actually seeing your posts, you know, and so that's okay if you have 100,000, but if you only have 10,000 followers on Instagram or 10,000 followers on Facebook and only 10% or 5% are actually seeing your content, that's hard. You know, you're building your platform and you're building your audience on someone else's platform, and then they're turning around and charging you for it. So the thing that Ryan Leslie's developed in just a direct-to-consumer relationship, I think is brilliant. And I was already doing it with Americana, trying to engage and be friendly and, you know, be connected. And again, the response from the people and the encouragement I got from being able to connect was really dope. I think just the messages of like how much the music has touched them, man, I heard Wildest Dreams from Americana and it made me cry, and I relate so much to your story. I think those are the messages, and I get a lot of those messages personally sent to me that really impact me. Like, man, like what I'm doing matters. Like people care. They care enough to listen, but they care enough to share it with their friends, and it speaks to them in such a personal way that maybe they don't disclose on social media or publicly, but they tell me privately, and it reminds me of why I do what I do, and that it's ultimately here to help and inspire and encourage people.